When you're going fast on the street, you don't know if a car is going to pull out in front of you or something like that. Racing, if you lose and you miss a gear, it's your fault. The bike didn't do anything. The dirt didn't do anything. You messed up.
My name is Nathaniel, and this is the Motorcycle Archives.
The bikes aren't complicated at all, but there are these little things that you need to know. You could blow up 10 engines and learn it yourself, but some guy's already done that and could just tell you like, hey, why are you doing it that way? And there has to be the person that wants to pass on the knowledge, but there also has to be someone that wants to learn. Those guys like Monty, Lucky, Meatball, the Races, Paul, and all those, they're the ones that are like, hey, there's stuff going on, and if you want to be a part of it, you know, come on in. If somebody like my age buys an old bike and then it breaks down, it's like, well, I don't exactly have money to pay some guy like this much money to fix it. It's tough. I think it's both sides.
And I think it's part of like the package of like wanting a vintage bike is that you kind of have to learn how to work on it. Like, you know, I think that's what you're touching on.
Both my parents immigrated from France. We'd go back to France sometime in the summers. And my grandpa in France on his farm, he had these 2 huge airplane hangars. He had like the tractors, and he'd just go and collect junk. He was like, hey, you know, you're getting older, you know, you should learn how to weld. You know, like, okay. It wasn't like a professional lesson or anything like that, but I was like, all right, I know how to weld, you know? And then we came back home and I bought like the cheapest stick welder I could buy at Home Depot. But then I was like, guys, I know how to weld. I can make us a motorcycle. And that was like the idea. No shocks, no nothing. The wheels were like this big. It was just a power washer engine. It didn't have a clutch. So I was like, all right, guys, you know, like push me down the street. And finally, because of the vibrations, and I didn't really know how to weld in general, the front end popped off completely.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know you had the video of it breaking.
Yeah. And then after that, it was just like, oh wow, like motorcycles are fun. Like I like this. You know?
You weren't discouraged by it breaking. You're like,
Not
you know, and now we just gotta
really.
fix it.
Yeah. It's actually funny. The reason, like you asked why Triumph earlier, it's like, I saw this picture. It's just the like vertical twin engine that they have. I just think it's like the best design. For me on a Triumph, it's like both sides are good. Everything it looks nice, it's simple, it's clean. And I think you can do anything with the Triumph. So this is my 500. This is my first Triumph I got. The thing is like got no dampening. It's just really quite rough, but it gets the job done and I like it. It's fun. And I saw one come up on Craigslist and he didn't want to sell me the bike. He's like, no, you're too young. You don't know how to fix it. He had 2 Triumphs there. He had a newer Triumph for sale too. And he's like, no, get this. You know, it's new. It's not going to break down. You know, you need this bike. And I was like, nah, I want the old one. I really want the old one. It's the bike that I was racing at Hell on Wheels. That's my first Triumph. Yeah,
wow,
that 500.
That's when you have it still.
Yeah, I'll never get rid of that thing. Yeah. Jack and I have been friends since maybe like, what now, like 5 years?
Yeah, 6, I think 6
years.
Sophomore year of high school?
Yeah, since sophomore year of high school, I guess. When I first took over the shop here, I told Jack about the project and he volunteered to help me. And we spent many nights actually out here.
Many nights.
Working, getting the shop ready to go and all that sort of stuff. So then for helping me out, I gave Jack this bike and now he races it against me and tries to beat me.
It did not look like this when I first got it.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
It was funny, I gave it to Jack because I wanted him to learn how to work on bikes.
Yeah.
We both worked on it in like one afternoon and I thought it'd take like a while to get it going and it didn't. It pretty much started right up. Yeah, here's the workshop side of things. This is Tink's station, and this is Tink. I mentioned Tink before.
How's it going, Tink?
Yeah, they call me Tink. I'm like Elliot, I have had a lifelong passion for riding motorcycles. I probably have somewhere between 800,000 and 1,000,000 miles on a motorcycle.
Tink's from Seattle, and so he was, back in the day, he'd take his Triumph and early Sportster from down here up to Seattle, sometimes in a straight shot through the weather and all that.
Yeah, I learned to ride straight in Seattle, and if you didn't ride in the rain, you didn't ride. Came with the territory.
Yeah.
I've been here in the shop for a little over 8 years now, and I've been through a lot of different mechanics. And after I saw him, his enthusiasm and his passion for the bikes, and he had good basic mechanical skills, I thought, this is a guy that we could pass the legacy on to, because I'm at that stage in my life where I need to pass on this knowledge. I was looking at this one. Whoever did this didn't set these up correctly.
It's funny, I wasn't actually interested in motorcycles like themselves. I just liked fixing stuff. I have nothing against riding a motorcycle on the street, but it's just kind of like racing is so much more fun.
I mean, everybody gets in it for different reasons too.
Exactly.
That's why I find it interesting. Like usually people get into it because they want to ride, but you got into it because you wanted to
I know,
work
and
on
I always
bikes,
think that was funny because I don't know why, but I never got involved in any of the like motorcycling stuff.
Yeah.
But I came to the swap meet here and I met John, the guy who owned the shop before. He was like, well, I'll hire you. And then he's like, all right, show up on Monday. And I showed up and he's like, so, you work on these bikes? I was like, yeah, I know how to work on these, a decent amount. I don't know everything. Tink was sitting on the couch in his office and he's like, okay, kind of started testing me. And that was like, I was like, oh, this guy like knows a lot of stuff. Like I gotta like somehow learn from this guy. And then the previous owner, John, he wanted to retire and he kind of wanted out. So then that's how we ended up with the shop here. And what do we do now? He has your bike and you have his camera. Yeah, let's take a selfie.
I'm sold.